Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Sanity Lost. Where, I don't know, do we read books here? Do you guys read?
Yeah, I'm reading. I finally got back into reading for the first time in like a bajillion years.
What you reading?
What am I reading?
I don't know. That's what I asked.
Oh my gosh, what's it called?
Young adult or YA fiction.
Yeah, it's it's in the other room.
Do you want to run and go get it? We can ask the rest of the people.
Oh yeah, I do, because I want to tell you about it. Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay. Good. This
I
was
am
the actual
currently
whole
reading The Wheel
ploy
of
to
Time.
get her out of the room. So now let's talk how we're killing
Is that the
Cora.
first time you're reading it, or have you
No.
read it before?
I have read it many times before.
Which
Okay.
book? I was making a joke.
The Wheel of Time series.
No, never read it. Never heard of it. That's a lie.
You have definitely heard of it.
I heard of it.
It's a very good series.
Mainly from
I know
one
for a
person
fact
this
you've
call.
heard of it.
Yeah. Because I remember the first time you brought up Wheel in the Time, I was like, Wheel in the Time keeps on turning.
I don't read as much as I used to, but when I do find something to read, like I read it nonstop until I'm done. Most recently I read Mistborn from Brandon Sanderson.
I heard good
So,
things.
very enjoyable series.
Yeah. I need to pick up the second one and start that one. But yeah, the first one was really good. I liked their take or his take on the magic system of the
That's
world.
all I hear about that system. That's all that I hear about that book series is like the magic's cool. And I'm like, okay. And then I was interested. It's like, and then there's a second. I'm like, I'm no longer interested. I'll just
There's more
look
than
a video
two.
up.
Yeah, he's trying to do like a whole world building thing. So it's
Basically, that's
like
all his
that was
books.
the one that it's like, if you want to start with my books, start at this series, and then it just goes from there.
Mhm.
Well, and that's just the Mistborn world. That's not even the entirety of Cosmos.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's called the entirety of having too much time in your hands. I don't know. I might be being harsh.
Well, with
It's-
modern authors, if you're not writing for 5 different worlds, you're not doing it right.
Yeah, Cosmos is not quite as intertwined as a lot of the Stephen King books are, but there's definitely or Cosmere. That's the correct name.
Mhm.
But there's
Sounds like a
definitely,
medical
intertwining.
spread. John, I felt
There's
like a
definitely at
call out
least
for
hints
my-
to other series.
Mhm. Yeah.
John, I felt like you were calling me out for all the stupid things I work on that are barely connected.
Oh, I was not. No.
I know you weren't. Actually, that's not true. How many games all take place in Mirken?
I was gonna say, but if the shoe
I mean,
fits,
yeah.
It does. In a sense. All right, did you get your book?
I did.
Okay, let's move on with the episode now.
Is it backwards?
No,
It's
you're good.
backwards on my screen. Darkest Mind series. It's actually pretty traumatic for a young adult novel. The gist is that every child was born with a weird disease that at puberty they gain powers, anywhere from just being like super smart to like literally being able to reach into someone's mind and control them and be able to tell them what to do. Either they develop powers or they die. That's it, right? So whatever this disease is, like either the kids just die before they hit puberty, or if they survive the disease, then they get these special powers. So the United States basically rounds up all of the kids and puts them in camps. That's how this book starts. Like in the first like half chapter, it's like these 8-year-olds being like shoved into buses and then like just driven off to camps, which is like kind of intense. Yeah, and so basically, and then it goes into your like typical like young adult, right? Like there's the heroine who has magical powers that she's hiding from everyone, and she's a tormented soul and she gets broken out of the camp, and it's pretty typical young adult, but I am very much enjoying it. And there are talking about series. I think there's 4 books in the series, but apparently this was a movie. I have never heard of this movie ever.
Mhm.
I'm not familiar with it either.
The amount of young adult books that get made into movies is
I mean,
Yeah.
yes,
astounding.
definitely.
Yeah, so I'm not totally sure yet if I want to watch the movie or not. But I am really enjoying the book.
Yeah. It's there was something that you said that triggered something in my head to speak, but I forgot what it was. So yeah.
We'll shout it out when it comes back.
It might not be an opportune time for me to shout
Just in
it
the middle
out.
of like the most intense role play. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
Shut
remember
your
it.
lips. I got something to say. Books are dumb now.
It wouldn't
Nah,
be the first time.
I've been that's true. I've been so there is a book I'm really waiting to come out. I think it comes out 16th. So not this week, but next week. Let me click. Yeah, next Tuesday. It's I think I've said this before, but I'm like, I think I found my favorite modern day author. Because I read all her books and I'm like, they're all amazing.
Oh yeah, you've talked about her before.
Yeah, R.F. Kuang or Rebecca
Yeah.
F. Kuang. Yeah. For people who don't recognize the name, she wrote the Poppy War trilogy, and Babel, which Babel is really cool. Another person I mentioned on this podcast, Hump, she was really interested in reading Babel because she's like, it talks about like colonization, and then she's like, I heard that it made a bunch of white people uncomfortable, so I had to read it. And so and not that it's a secret, she is like I think her parents are Filipino, so it's just like yeah, a little bit of her story according to that. But yeah, it's a really interesting book, and I enjoyed it. But then like the book coming out next is called Yellowface, which
Interesting.
it's I think closely aligned to like her own attempts to get the Poppy War going. But it's like
Interesting.
I think from what I've saw, I think it's like this I don't want to say Chinese author because it's like all her main characters have been Chinese, because she's Chinese, but it's like the authors and I believe it's like an Asian author, and then the studio or the printing house that she's with steals her manuscript and puts it up, and apparently it's some sort of revenge story or something like that. I don't know how much that's true, but I think it's like kind of aligned with that. But yeah, so anyway, I've been enjoying her stuff, but because I follow her social media stuff on different things, I get other book related stuff, which I am also reading a young adult book, which I didn't realize was a young adult book until I was halfway through it.
They snuck it in on you.
It doesn't bother me. I'm just like, man, like I'm like, I can see why these young adults like this, because it is very fast paced. It's like no thought, just go.
Yeah, totally. It's all emotion and energy and action.
And this also is being made into a movie. I don't know how to pronounce the author's name because it is Chinese, and I'm like, I'm gonna butcher it if I try. But the book is called Iron Widow. I think I mentioned it on Friday.
Okay, but, I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, it's in short. It is a sci-fi retelling of, or at least grabs inspiration from China's first empress, Empress Wu, who's like, I believe historically, which there's like things I'm like, because I know because of reading Chinese history and stuff and learning a little bit, when she came into power, she kind of like got rid of like the concubine system of like just dudes having 600 concubines and all that,
right?
And like, but yeah, all the deities are giant robots. So it's just like,
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so there's a lot of neat things about it, but like I I've had the author show up on my TikTok a few times, just saying like, I wrote this, and like she was going on and was just like, yeah, how I convinced all my friends back in 2019, like, yeah, I can make it with Empress Blue, would be this, all the DDs are robots, and yeah, that's right. There's gonna be a love triangle, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
You know, it's a young adult novel when there's a love triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, and I think this is the first book I'm reading that like legitimately has one, and I'm like, okay, you do you. And then it's just like, I'll admit there's been multiple times like Neuromancer, like there's a whole section in there where they're talking about like people enjoying each other's presence, and it's just like I'm at work listening to the audiobook and I believe it's Neuromancer, or yeah, I think it's that one. I'm trying to remember. No, it wasn't. Oh shoot, what's the other one? It's Neuromancer, and there's another book that like kind of really set up the cyberpunk kind of thing. Something Snow. I'm totally blanking on it.
Yeah, I have no clue.
I have it in my list, but it's just like I'm sitting there at work with dudes like in their like upper 40s and older, and it's just like listening to this book, and the main character's like, I could feel the sweat going down. I'm like, I don't care where the sweat's going. Stop talking. Snow Crash, I think that's what it was called.
You don't want to be listening to the spicy scenes in the middle of work.
Look, I'm gonna probably be a little vulgar, but I don't want to hear about a man's sweaty sack, okay? And how he can see himself in the reflection of the girl that he is spending time with. Because she has mirror lenses grafted over her eyes.
What?
Yeah, Neuromancer.
Okay.
So
yeah, I don't
that's
wanna
another
know those
book. I'm
things
like, that was okay. I think Snow Crash is better.
And once again, welcome to the podcast where we give you recommendations on things that have nothing to do with our real purpose.
We give you recommendations on how gross and sweaty the sex scenes are in books. Come back next week where I don't know. I don't plan these things in advance. You know what? If you asked me, if we did this like, I don't know, 5 years ago, we probably no, that's not true. I haven't watched any new movies. Then I was like, we could talk about movies. And then I realized I'm like, well,
we talk about movies. We still talk about movies.
No, you guys talk about movies. I listen. I watch two things right now. One of them is for content. I'm watching Gravity Falls, and then I'm also watching The Extraordinary Attorney Woo. That's on Netflix. It is my first K-drama, and I can see why people like it. And now I am too far because I'm like, let's just finish it.
Yeah, you're too in. It hooked you.
Yeah, no, I totally admit I'm not gonna hide it. I'm just like, it's a very cute show about it's, as I tell people, I was not expecting to really enjoy a show about an autistic lawyer trying to figure out life with non-autistic people and like what love and what purpose is while solving court cases that are based around the issues of Korea.
Yep.
So it is enjoyable.
Yeah,
very cute.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
All right. No.
Not me. Yeah, and then they suggested me other shows like The Glory, which it's like the only tagline is, this girl was bullied in high school.
Oh gosh.
So she grew up and got revenge on them, their kids, their husbands, and like, well, what are you doing there? You just gotta take out all Korea at that point. So I don't know, I might watch that. It depends. I only got like 3 more months left of Netflix, and it took me 3 months to get to episode 10.
This far.
So we'll see. And that wasn't even why I wanted to watch Netflix. I was given it to me by a very good friend. But anyway, enough with this. we're doing stuff. You know what? There it is. If you guys remember last time when there wasn't a cliffhanger, we had a real fun episode. So, new music.
I don't like this music.
I do. This is
This
why
is
we were a
supposed
little
to
bit
be
later.
like a fun day.
No,
I'm excited about this day. Not
I
anymore.
just said
No
the
more.
day ended, but there's still the night.
Oh my gosh, I forgot. Dreams.
Everyone, give me a roll.
What are we rolling?
I
Sanity?
don't know.
Luck?
Choose whatever you want and just find out who's going first.
Oh.
Okay, I rolled
I
70.
got 53.
53. What do you got,
99.
Skip? Okay. No, Corey, you're first. Wait
Okay,
a second.
okay.
Are you guys in the order that I wrote this? Neat. Okay. Corey, you are on the main street of Centralia, and it's like foggy, and there's a motorcycle I can hear through my headphones, and my fridge just got quiet as well. There's a lot of things going on in my apartment right now. But yeah, it's just eerily quiet. Like, you see the storefronts out there. It's just this thick fog just sitting in the town, just all over the place. Like, you see, like, I don't know, you see that, like, buildings are lit up. Like, it looks like there's a light inside, but there's like no power going to it. It's like this flickering light happening on like the inside of many different buildings. And you kind of, well, yeah, you just kind of see that, like, and you're at town hall, and you can kind of see this flickering light. What would you like to do?
So I'm in front of town hall.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're by town. You're walking past town hall, and you see like the doors. I realize I probably never explained what the doors look like, but I always imagine these doors like kind of like these glass, like double doors.
Okay, so through the glass double doors, I can see.
You see like this flickering light. But like, there's, if you want to keep walking, you can keep doing that as well.
No, I think Cora's going to walk up to the town hall doors and try to go inside.
Okay. So you go up to the doors and you feel this pressure on the door, kind of like pushing back.
Like I can't open it, pushing back.
Yeah, like it's weird. Like, it almost feels like this invisible force is like pushing. Like, if I realize I never really thought if the door. No, I'm just gonna roll. Are the doors opening in, or do they swing in or out? Okay, they swing in. So yeah, you're like pushing on the door as it feels like it feels like it's moving, but it's like extremely difficult. Like, there's some force or some entity or it's just something on the other side of the door,
Okay.
just pushing. And then like you hear, run. There's like this muffled, like, just it's kind of into the fog coming from behind you. Just like this voice just like, everyone run, get out. And it's getting
Cor-
louder as well. Like,
I think she's gonna try to push harder. She's gonna try and get into the town hall.
okay, roll power.
Okay.
Is that even? Okay, it is. I was like, I know that's a Delta Green thing. One.
No, 70 over 60.
Yeah, like you're just stuck and just pushing there, and this voice is just like, everyone, get out, as it's getting closer and closer to you.
Okay. All right. So I would assume that she's pretty like aware that she can't get in. So she's gonna turn around and she's gonna run towards the voice.
Okay, so you run towards it as it's getting louder and louder, and then you crash into this young man. As like he's taller than you, like he looks well built. He kind of has like a kind of dark, like kind of well kept hair swept back. Maybe a little bit of there's like kind of dirt on his face, and like kind of wild-eyed, like kind of like not fully shaven. He's also wearing like maybe like a not maybe he is wearing like a leather jacket and like kind of and stuff, and like you're kind of just like, you have to get out, and he looks at you. Mom, what are you doing here?
Timmy?
Yeah, no, you had to get out of the town. It's on fire.
Timmy? The town's on fire? What are you talking about?
Like, I don't know. There was something that happened up north in the mines or something, and like, it spread. We have to get out. Like, I don't know why you're here. You told me to make sure people got out.
Of course. Where are we going? Where are they sending?
Kind of, if we get pretty much away, I think there's some people getting at St. Ignace, but no, you told me to go make sure that like some of the people that couldn't get out or whatever. Like, what was there somebody in town hall?
I can't get into town hall.
Let me go check. And he's gonna go and try to push it against the door.
All right, I follow him.
He's like, Mom, just stand back a little bit. Just as he's like, it might be stuck or something, and you hear like this rumbling as this well, roll a spot hidden for me.
It's a 56 under 59.
Okay. Like, you hear this thudding, like this, like against the brick outline, like of the wall, like as Timmy's pushing against there, and you're looking at it, and you just see like it begin to crumble away as you can tell somebody's hacking from the other side. And before you're able to even point anything out, an axe head, a like jet black axe head with this crimson handle, crashes through the stone wall. And as the wall begins to crumble, as this giant hand reaches out towards Timmy.
Timmy, watch out! Timmy!
So yeah, he this hand reaches out, and like it's but like as pretty much like the hole opens up more and more, this blast of heat and smoke and embers just blast out, forcing you to the ground, like kind of just like an explosion of air. And like as your vision begins to collect, you see this like Timmy is gone. The arm is gone. But what is left is a silhouette of a large, out of shape, glistening man just saying, The structure is important for a town. A vote for Giuseppe will make sure strong walls. Roll power for me.
All right, so hold on, that's a 19. So I'm guessing I pass. What's my power? Yeah, under 60. 19 under 60.
Okay. Caleb. You wake up in front of this large display. It's just this large screen that seems to wrap around this room that there's like nothing in this room except you are, Link, strapped to this chair. You are strapped to like this high-backed chair. It's the first thing that came to my head was like Clockwork Orange. Like your eyes are like forced open. You're sitting there as you are just like this just dully lit screen just comes up. And now I'm wondering, I think, was there TVs in World War II? I forget when the TV was created.
Yeah, there were. Yep.
Okay.
You're good.
So, but like the weird thing is, I don't know if there was color at that point, once again, but it's weird, like, because the display and the crispness is way cleaner than anything that you've seen, and it's just like you hear this buzz in your ears, and then like of like that kind of electricity, like when you can tell like something that uses power is on, but you're unable to like see, like you're assuming it's the monitor, the screen. I'm looking at a monitor right now, and all of that. But I need you to roll me a spot hidden.
95 over 40 something, 43.
Okay. This thundering ticking you can hear. It's just like this deep like just this thundering, like you can hear it in your ears and everything. What would you like to do?
Can I move at all, or you said I'm strapped to this chair?
Yeah, you're able to like shake a little bit, like
if I struggle, does the chair move at all?
It looks like the restraints aren't super tight. Like the chair doesn't move, but it looks like, I don't know, if you wanted to, it looks like you could believe that like if you're able to maneuver correctly, if you want, you might be able to break a hand free or something.
I guess I'll try breaking an arm free out of it.
Okay. Power. Roll power.
$41 under 50.
Yeah, so like you're just pulling and pulling against the straps, like shaking as like your left hand like just it like you feel like this pain in your arm as like these leather straps just begin to give and rip as like you finally get your arm free.
I will start unstrapping everything else.
Yeah, so you like take off the restraints, and I guess you're going to get the things that are kind of forcing your eyes open off.
Yeah, that would have been like the first thing I do, is just like swipe those out. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like as you're doing this, you just feel like it's like unnaturally warm in this room, and you're just sitting there, and yeah, you get on. Well, yeah, you're out of the chair. What would you like to do?
Is there any like sign, any kind of like an entrance visible in this room?
To what you can see, this looks like this huge room, but it's just this that's lit by this screen. But you don't see a way in or out.
Is there anything that's showing on the screen, or is it just like whiteness?
You notice that there is a scroll of numbers going across the screen. It is like it's like a collection of numbers, and that like it has a break before repeating itself. And the numbers are and if you want, I can type this into the Discord. So if you don't catch them. But like across the screen, like in these like bright, like kind of like green green looking text. It just says, it says 13103120203. No, sorry, 2345. And then there's a break. And then it repeats 13103120220. Oh, my screen shut off. My phone shut off. Yeah, there we go. Now it's on again. Yeah, so it says 131031202022345. I'll type that into the Discord chat so you guys can have it.
Would Caleb recognize these numbers as anything significant?
If I don't know, you can give a roll. Like it's just kind of just constantly going across the screen. So it's I don't know. If
so it's not necessarily something like a set of numbers that would have that he would have like strong meaning with.
Yeah, there's I know that like we kind of, except for the past like month we've been doing like kind of back-to-back recordings, nothing like at the current moment looks like there's a reasoning behind it, but yeah, you can I don't know, you can sit on that and think about it. It is written in the chat, but if there's anything you want to do,
Yeah, so Caleb's gonna start like feeling around the screen to see if there's like any signs of seams or anything like that. It's not like a search type of thing. Besides not hidden.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna let you know, as soon as you start walking towards the screen, you hear like this crackle as a voice comes in. Numbers. Only the greatest approval rate in years. Join today with a vote for me for Call of Cthulhu. Roll power.
68 over 50.
Okay. We'll come back to you. There we go. Scroll down. So, Skip, you see across a room this man in like a well-pressed, pristine white suit. He's like standing elevated above you. He like looks like, we know that, as we joked many a times, like Skip has the visuals of like, and the looks of like any supermodel and like anything. Like, he's the most beautiful man on earth. This man is like immaculate. Like, there doesn't look like there's anything wrong with him. Like, no deformities, not well shaven, just clean crisp looking, at least from his clothes. Any visuals of his hair, and like defining features of eyes, nose, mouth is cloaked in shadows as this light is lit, backlighting him as you can feel him looking at you. What would you like to do?
John, did you miss all of that?
Yeah. Sorry, I had a text I was reading.
Yeah, for me telling you to pay attention.
No, not that one. Sorry,
Oh, no.
we're still on Galen.
Nope. All right,
Nice.
Dave, go again.
Okay. So Skip, you are looking up at this man in this immaculate white suit. As I said earlier, we know that Skip is like one of the most beautiful men on earth, but this man, from what you can tell, is just like very pristine, suit pressed, visually looks nice. However, any defining features of his face or like color of his hair is cloaked in shadow as this light is backlighting him. But you can feel like this person is staring down at you. What would you like to do?
So it hasn't said anything. Basically, just
yeah.
So Skip he kind of like, puts his hand over his eyes, trying to like, see if he can block the light a little bit and see who it is, and just kind of gives a like, hello, who's there?
As soon as you say hello, the person slowly starts walking towards you, and with like each footstep is like pretty much like a bass drum, like this heavy bass drum that's the sound. It's just like as he's slowly walking towards you. And were you about to say something?
Yeah, well, I was going to say as he's walking forward, Skip like takes a step back with each one of those steps and continues to say, who are you? Who's there? But like you catch like just a hint of like panickiness in his voice.
And like in your head, you hear, "You've been looking for societies, but you do not know what you're looking for." As like he's slowly walking closer and closer to you.
Skip keeps taking steps back and kind of confusedly repeats societies. I don't know. I don't understand what you mean. Who are you?
And like it's weird because like you're looking at him and then it's like all of a sudden he's like a couple feet away from you now. Or like before he was like, I don't know, like
strides away.
Yeah, he was like 50 feet away, and then all of a sudden he's like within 10 feet of you, and he's just like, "You've been seeking groups with power."
And when the entity appears that close to him, he kind of trips over his feet and falls backwards, falls on his butt into a sitting position, and continues to sort of like scrabble backwards. And he says, "Power? You're not making any sense. Who are you?" But like the panic in his voice is increasing as he's like, slipping and like falling, but still trying to scrabble backwards away from this thing.
I hear you. My headphones are dying. There we go. Had to plug them in. Yeah. So he he's what like you as you fall down, and he's just like this hand, like it's not a hand of like a bodybuilder. It's not like rippling with muscles. It's like, but it's also not thin and weak looking, as this arm grabs you by like the collar of your shirt and kind of lifts you, and he's just brings you as this shadow still like obscures his face. And then all of a sudden you see it open its eyes as these almost like two shimmering emerald serpent eyes are staring back into you. And he's like,
when you look into Julia, you look for us.
and oh, go ahead.
No, sorry, go ahead if you're still going.
Oh yeah, and he's like, before Skip can say anything, like the whole like silhouette collapses as like you are now just covered in these snakes all over you. And it's just like they kind of just slither into the shadows. And well yeah. What's Skip doing now?
At this point he's like, you know, full on like freaking out. So like when the thing grabbed his like chest, he's basically like, you know, grabs with both of his arms trying to like pull it off of him, and is just like in full panic mode, kind of, you know, whimpering to himself like, let me go, let me go, let me go. And then as it collapses into a pile of snakes, he just starts thrashing around wildly, you know, screaming, get off me, get off me.
Yeah. And then like you feel like this hand like on your shoulder, like as you just hear, there, son, there, it's okay. Remember. Oh, go ahead.
Skip like flings an arm out at like whatever's touching him, and like pushes himself away from it, thrashing away, and just continues to like scream like, get off me, get off me. And
like as you look over, it's Carl Giuseppe glistening in the light. And he's just like, thoughts and hearts aglow, bring votes to the town. Oh, bring votes for the town to go.
And like Skip's just kind of like looking around, very confused, not really saying any, you know, not seeing any sign of the snakes, and just kind of like squinting at Carl, like his brain trying to catch up with like what's happened, but not saying anything yet. He's a couple steps behind mentally.
Yep. And like he's just like, I hope to see you tomorrow, son. Roll power.
Is a 89 over 65.
And he just kind of walks into the shadows. And you are alone. Just this light where the source you're not able to determine. And then as you sit there, kind of, I don't know, collecting yourself, you can just hear the sound of like snake hissing and slithering just directly out of sight of the light.
So Skip kind of like still sitting, like tucks his knees up to his chest and like covers his ears with his hands and just keeps repeating, go away, go away, go away, and like rocking back and forth.
Caleb, you are looking at the computer screen, or I keep saying computer screen. I'm saying words that like have no connection. Just it's back to the book. We now know it wasn't a book. You're looking at this screen, and then like I don't know if you were still searching around it or anything. But you notice like from around the screen, smoke is beginning to pour out. As you hear, "You gotta get out!"
Can I tell where this voice is coming from?
Nah, it's like nondescript, like kind of. It's not coming from within the room that you're in, but you're also not able to place it.
Who's there? Where? Get out of what?
And then you hear, "Caleb, Mr. Caleb, where are you?"
Wait. Who's there? Who's there? What am I? I'm in some weird room.
Let me just say something. I guess lore-wise, and there's only one person that calls you Mr. Caleb.
Timmy?
Which would be Timmy.
Yes.
I should try to make sure, but
Yes. Yeah. And so you got to get out. The town's on fire.
wait, Timmy? Why the town is on fire?
Yeah.
I don't know how to get out of this room. There doesn't seem to be a door.
And then like all of a sudden you hear like this explosion of like this wall crumbling, this explosion, and then like a scuffle. And all three of you guys wake up. It is 4:44 in the morning. And with that, see you next week.
We got our cliffhanger this time.
You guys are gonna like, no, clip us a cliffhanger. Give us a cliffhanger. I hope you guys all got good sleep in time for the debate. Thanks for watching or listening, nerds. See you.
Bye.
Bye.